Hello again, this is James Roughton, and welcome to my podcast on safety culture. In our last podcast, we started to talk about values. In today's session, I want to talk about recognizing success. And in order to recognize success, management and supervision must recognize indicators or warning signs and know how to react properly. And remember, as a safety professional, you are part of management and you have to convey the same message. The key here is that any system or person is resistant to change. This is just plain old human nature, but we must learn to recognize and deal with these changes, as your desired behaviors must be shaped and reinforced through praise and positive recognition. There is a point also is we must understand the controversy around recognition or incentive programs and how injury reporting remains a hot topic among safety professionals, OSHA, labor unions, and, of course, management. Proponents will argue that incentives can discourage injury reporting if done improperly. In many cases, other management practices may negatively impact injury reporting. Therefore, any safety program that targets one area without addressing other areas are less likely to succeed. In some programs, injuries initially decline and then level off or increase. An effective safety recognition program or a traditional safety program that promotes injury reporting usually shows an increase in reported injuries in the beginning of the effort. And once you have identified specific injury types, you are then able to identify the factors that contributed to the reported injury. And once your practice has been consistently utilized, injuries tend to decline or decrease as the cause of each injury is investigated, and as the root cause or root causes are identified and the issues are corrected. In some cases, this may be a better indicator that the program is working than an initial decline of injuries. The fact is, the more you pay attention to the employee, as discussed in a previous podcast, employees will feel more comfortable reporting hazards and will be willing to help correct such hazards. But the key here is that you cannot overreact when you have several injuries. You have to treat each injury on a case-by-case basis to understand what happened and what part of the system may have failed. If you have a good process in place, you have to give it time to work. As always, successful management systems consist of some key components: management commitment, employee participation, worksite analysis, hazard prevention and control, and safety and health training programs. These basic elements are a good starting point to help achieve any goals or objectives. It will foster a system of safety awareness and motivation at all levels of the organization. Now let's turn our attention to recognition programs. A recognition program should be rewarding, entertaining, easy to understand and administer, and should have a daily focus on safety activities and not only when an injury occurs. It should generate peer and group pressure, be visual dynamic, flexible, and enforcement of rules. It should be easy to administer, promote employee participation, accountability, open communication, and encourage employee management cooperation. There is an increased focus on traditional performance-based incentives as a potential cause of underreporting injuries. The bottom line is, in my view, you should consider non-traditional incentive programs where emphasis is placed on activity-based efforts such as safety suggestions, one-on-one communication with employees, daily 2-minute drills, reporting injuries, reporting hazards, near-miss reporting, reporting loss-producing events, and attending safety meetings. OSHA's stance places the burden and proof on management to demonstrate that incentives are not being used for injury reduction alone, such as management's overemphasis on an injury-free workplace, punishment or discipline taken against injured employees, or embarrassing injured employees in front of coworkers. In some cases, OSHA has taken the authority to issue fines for record-keeping violations to companies who tie incentives to bonuses to promote an injury-free work environment. Here is one last thought before I end this podcast. Most safety professionals and management are frustrated when a well-intentioned safety management system is put in place, yet employees continue to be injured. Safety professionals generally recognize that incentive programs that address only behaviors without recognizing performance have some limitations. Some injuries result from personal factors that cannot be traced to a specific behavior. Take a case of an employee who has had a perfect record that all of a sudden gets hurt. But you have to remember that people are fallible, and even the best people will get hurt. And unfortunately, no matter what we believe, we have to understand that there are some things we cannot explain. For example, stress, lack of sleep, emotional strain, minor injury, substance abuse. These symptoms could be contributing factors of either on or off the job. Therefore, in my opinion, an effective non-traditional safety recognition program will capitalize on the impact of positive group dynamics as a means of shaping individuals' attitude and behavior. What we as safety professionals need to do is to convey to the management team that they must feel the same way that we do about safety. Think about this for a second. How many times have you, as a safety professional, visited a plant or an area and employees immediately change their behavior just because they see you? The question is, does supervision and management have the same ability? I bet in most cases, from my experience, probably not, if they do not understand the culture. Therefore, it is our job to mentor supervision and management how to approach individuals to get the same results that you would. Somehow you have to get this point across to managers and supervisors so that they can create the same awareness as you do. Of course, this is only the first step, and as the process continues, you will see these types of changes happen. We must get to a point where management and employees understand and take the responsibility to do the right thing and not wait for an injury to happen. In our next podcast, we will talk a little bit about how a safety system begins to emerge. And before I conclude, I would like to thank you for listening to this video and remind you that we just covered some basic concepts on developing a successful safety management system. I wish you great success on your journey to developing your own successful safety management system. For more details, please visit my website, safetycultureplus.com.